Anime girls doing cute things is a great way to catch someone's interest. And one of the best ways to do that are anime girls with guns. It's a simple concept, really. I mean, this is anime girls with tanks, but you get the idea. Which brings us to today's game, Sentinel Sentinel Girls 2. And no, you're not tweaking, there is no space between girls and 2. Thrown into a war that will eventually leave our girls riddled with all kinds of trauma, the worst part are the taxes, and yes, they sound just as bad as they do. You play as Sentinel, a girl with one of the hardest to pronounce names right next to the wannabe tsundere archetype. I'll go over her in a minute. A girl that knows how to really not make that bread, and how to literally make that bread. She joins up with a PMC in hopes to find her sister, a revered hero of their country. She must prove her worth, survive against the mechanical onslaught and taxes. Yes, taxes do play a role in this game again, they suck. All while bonding with anime girls. Now, the gameplay is simple. Horde defense, hold down left click until you get paid, where you can then purchase cards, increase your stats, or get new weapons. You can go from shotguns, various SMGs and assault rifles, to snipers, even one that can almost one-shot every other heavy mech in the game, and penetrate through enemy armor, to giant laser miniguns, which look really funny as you're this quirky 5'1" anime girl fighting against the enemies of man. Now the only downside is that these weapons do degrade over time, forcing you to buy new ones or to maintain the handgun, which the game reveres as being a punishment worse than death until you upgrade it, and then it becomes a pretty decent gun. Regarding the cards and stat increases, my favorites were more damage and fire rate, because if gun go burr, then enemy go. Sometimes you'll even get barricades, which suck, turrets, which are okay, portable turrets, which also suck, and sometimes a straight buff, free of charge. Surprisingly, the build variety is a little less simple than it looks. I'm not saying it's anything extraordinary, but on my second run, I bought this mini missile launcher, which dealt devastating damage, so it incentivizes you to put points into cooldown reduction, even though, yes, I just slapped more points into damage against Dochka's, she's our boss, behest. Although in my fourth playthrough I spec'd in the knockback and cooldown, making my missiles almost spammable, and making it so the enemies got stun locked. It's a fun time. Or you would be buying out damage buffs if it wasn't for the taxes. As the game progresses, you lose what would be a gracious sum of cash in this dystopian hellscape to all kinds of taxes that get more and more absurd by the day. If you didn't already hate taxes, you will now. How dare this fictional regime in this indie video game take away our girl's ability to purge faster. I'm just saying the Black Templars would have definitely given her a bolt pistol. Free of charge. At least in the Imperium, you do feel like you're fighting for a worthy cause, even if— Kitty? Here it's just a pain. At least you have your gruel and robotic pet dog. The dog offers no buffs whatsoever. Life is pain on the front lines. These streets are hard, but harder. Fight as you go level to level, which the backgrounds look amazing. I love the artwork, especially this one, including the one with the giant rail cannons. But you'll be fighting in a cornfield sometimes, or maybe in a ruined city or on a bridge. And that's when the game becomes Girls Owned Panzer. Slap a laser on that bitch, or maybe just more tank cannons and whatever these things are called. And watch as the bosses become obliterated to scrap. I sure love it when you fire approximately $300,000 of rounds on a good day, every second you're on the battlefield. Sometimes your fire rate and reload speed will be so high that you'll be literally spawn camping the enemies before they can even enter the room. The bosses actually have a lot more nuance than I thought. It's mostly just hit the weak point, but you know, it was a nice surprise. I mean, with this boss, you can literally bully him by stun locking him, by not letting him shoot his cannon. I love it. Normalize the bullying of non-organic beings. Okay, the cat's on the desk now, so you're probably going to be hearing purring, so we're going to stick with it and see if I have to record it later. Overall, it's a simple but fun game. It's not the reason you'll be playing it. Other than Dochka and yourself, you'll most likely notice that you can recruit other anime girls to assist you in battle. They're okay. You'll be doing most of the work by yourself since you're god strong as Yes, YouTube hates the 4-letter word, that's why it got censored. Sure, you can level them up, but the main reason you want to collect them is so you can bond with them, see their cute animations, and learn more about them until you reach the game's ending, where you get a unique ending based off the girl that you completed the game with. Or I would say they're unique aside from the writing and slightly different slides, because for the most part they feel the same, but with a different anime girl. You'll learn more about the game's lore this way, and you'll see the characters develop past their archetypes. The criteria is just to complete the game with a single girl. You don't even have to go through the entire run with her, so you'll only miss out on random cutscenes and quirkiness. On my first run, I swapped between each girl to understand their gimmicks. We have Aubrek, the I went with her on my first playthrough because she offered positive reinforcement to my damaged brain. I'm gonna f this up. Lishitchka? Wait, hold on. Lishitchka. I'm gonna call her Liz. She hates you until you teach her the prospect of announcing your kindness whenever you want to show that you care for somebody. And then she gives you a muffin. She also likes stuffed animals. I like her. Desik is a girl with a full auto shotgun and she's incapable of saying no, after being used to complete chores and paperwork around the facility by her other staff members. Then there's Hector. She scares me. She constantly sees you as inferior to her and is always degrading you in the sweetest way possible. Bitch, I am trying my hardest. Along with the others I haven't used yet. You can even unlock Dochka if you manage to get the path to the true ending. She likes grenades. I love her. Her drawing skills are horrendous, but she's great, and I feel bad they gave her PTSD and ruined her military career. She's one of the few people that cares for you, and I actually really like her ending slide. Dochka's pretty cool. She also cooks for you and will offer potatoes, sometimes sweet potatoes if you're lucky. So that's nice. If you do a playthrough where you don't bring any of the girls with you, you'll unlock more dialogue with her, so if Dochka is your girl, then go for it. Dochka is also my favorite because she uses insensitive words for the mechs. Can you tell? She's one of my favorites. Plus, you'll learn more about our main girl. Why should you care? You don't, but you bought the game, so you play the game to learn more about the lore, and it's Anime Girl, so you're gonna play it. That's the primary reason you'll be replaying this game. Helps that the game is fun, but honestly, you're gonna be more interested in just the Anime Girls, simply because they're Anime Girls, and the endings they unlock provide more context to the game's lore, so if you're interested, and you like girls with guns and really messed up settings, then this is the game for you. You can also obtain their skill set. When you complete the game with your chosen femcell, you can select them to get a buff to certain stats. For example, you go with Aubrek, you get cooldown reduction. You go with Litz, you get more damage at the cost of fire rate. Now, there is a true ending, and it will provide a good opportunity for me to explain how using a girl's skill set will affect a playthrough. I went with Lizz's ability, god that sentence sucked, for a reduced fire rate but more damage. I annihilated the mech so well that I received a perfect score on my monthly report, which Dochka gave me a choice to help at the North City instead, but I didn't know that because I misclicked while skipping the dialogue, and just happened to teleport myself here. Brings you out to this city with rail cannons firing off in the background. It's really cool, and occasionally if you do well you'll get extra funds. Shortly after it'll bring you to the next stage, which is his cargo yard. Dochka blocks off the gate with containers, and it's his huge final stand. Once you complete it, Sentinel says it's impossible for the robots to have breached the compound since the rail cannons shot down any airships, and no gates were breached, because alarms would have gone off. She opens a white container after noticing it, and sees rows of mechs before she's interrupted by a man surrounded by guards. This is the parent CEO of Sentinel's PMC, and he's working with the rebel army to overthrow the current regime so he can establish his own order. He's able to win Sentinel over to his side by promising to take care of her and her sister. Sentinel folds and accepts. Businessman then hands her a gun that she believes will incapacitate her sister. The next stage has you and mechs fighting against rebel soldiers and wounding them with non-lethal rounds. You'll go through grenadiers, grunts, heavies, and a whole ass tank till the final confrontation with Marfusha. She begs Sentinel to come with her so she can avoid prosecution by the National Army. Sentinel is adamant on her new beliefs and doesn't budge, which leads to Marfusha deciding to throw hands with her belligerent little emoto. The fight isn't too hard aside from these mines which just eat away at your health. I almost lost here because I wounded her enough to deliver a finishing spray, but I hesitated thinking that I'd game end her, but I was lied to. Never trust the enemy, brothers. Even if it's family, they're traitors to the cause. Now I can relate to Sentinel here because I too know pain. I fumbled 2 girls IRL that could have pulled off the perfect Cossack cosplay, and our girl is about to feel 1/10 of that pain. Having no choice, Sentinel fires a weapon given to her, but instead of a dart of sedative, a bang goes off. She shot her sister. Yeah, the gun was real. The drone recorded the entire thing and it was quickly reported. With nowhere to go and her sister dead, Sentinel and Dochka were forced to take shelter with the rebel army, used as a means to an end for another man's ambitions. Since this will most likely be the canon ending for the 3rd game, she's going to be a ruined husk of her former self. Apathy will take over as the violence accelerates and the body count rises. Yeah, the true ending is up. Sentinel Girls2 is a simple game that's fun. Yes, I turned a game you can beat in an hour into a decently length video because this video is taking me forever and I'm nowhere near done. And I got 2 other videos relating to yanderes to finish, so that's gonna be fun. Feel free to pick it up on a weekend, it's cheap. If you're a completionist, you'll have a nice time getting all the endings. There's also a challenge mode, which you can unlock hard mode after you beat the, true ending. So if this game sounds like something you'd replay, go for it. Again, it's literally like $7, so just go buy it. Anime girls with guns, gotta be one of my favorite genders. Okay, that's it, bye.